Hello and welcome. In today's video, we will see how to use recipe view in TI portal. Now, why recipe view is used? So basically, recipe views allow operator to store, load and manage multiple set of process parameter from the HMI. So basically, this is specifically used in the machine where product changes frequently. And what is recipe? So recipe is a structure of the parameters such as pressure, temperature, VFD speed, control valve opening or time. So that are required to the production for particular batch. So this is called recipe. So in this video what we will do, we will create one recipe structure in the TI portal. We will add recipe data. We will configure one recipe. We will save recipe and we will download recipe into the PLC. Now let's begin. Now let us consider there are 5 vessels. 5 vessels have 5 level sensors. So to pump the liquid in the 5 vessels, there are 5 pumps. So we will take this simple example to see how we can use recipe view in this application. So here, based on the process, there are 5 pumps and 5 pumps they are used to pump the liquid in the individual vessel. But here, based on the application, there may be only one vessel used, or 1 and 3 vessel used, or 1, 3 and 5 vessel used for the production, or sometimes only 2 and 4 vessel only used based on the product. So here there is a flexibility in the process. So how to use recipe view to achieve this flexibility? So what we can do, we will create first recipe structure. So in the recipe structure, we will add 5 level set points where pump will stop once the level reached. We will give one on and off tag for pump and one real tag for the set point for the level. So it will compare the level, and once the level achieved, pump will be stopped. So what we will do, here in the PLC we will add one motor variable. So we will use integer. So here level is P1. So here we will use real, and let's say 5 set points we will use. So for the motor we can use bool also here, but we will use integer, and we will access the tags from this particular integer. So now, so this will be our recipe structure. So in the, let's say, first part of the recipe, we want to run only motor 1 and vessel 1. So we will run it. Once the level achieved, so once the level achieved for the first vessel, we can choose any one, let's say vessel 2 or vessel 3 or vessel 5 or vessel 1, 2, 3 at a time, and we can make the pump on based on the structure of the recipe. So PLC it is done. So in the TI portal, what we will do here, we will add recipe. Okay, so now here we have added recipe. So now, so we have added recipe. There is a one option in the tree diagram called recipe. So we have to go to the recipe. So here, so in the first table we can add recipes. So let's say we call it as a recipe recipe 1. So display name it will show recipe 1. So here we can add number of recipes. So what will be the content of recipe? So in the recipe, operator will have flexibility to choose the motor and to choose the level set point. So here we have to add one motor element. So here motor, so display tag we will show motor, and here tag we will add the motor tag. So here we can take bool, here we can take real, we can take data type, time based on our structure. So here why we have used integer to save the number of tags. Let's say there are 10 number of motors, then here we are only using one tag. Otherwise we have to use 10 different tags. To reduce the tag, we have used only one motor tag. So next one is a level SP1 for vessel. This is for vessel 1. So we will add it for 5 vessel, and in the HMI it will show level SP1. Let us drag. Yeah, it works. And here we have to select tags. So level SP1, level SP2, 3, 4 and 5. So the recipe 1, in the recipe 1 we can select the 1 to 5 motors, and we can select the specific 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 set points. Okay, so there is one more option called data record. So here what we can do, okay, so data records, let's say, so data record is nothing but the records of your recipe 1. So here let's say recipe data record 1. So in the recipe data record 1, so in the HMI it will show vessel 1 for vessel 1. So here what will be the number of recipe and which motors you want to run and which set point do you want to give. So like this you can create the recipe. So here for vessel 2, this is just for example, vessel 2. So for vessel 2 I want to run for 50 liters. For vessel 3, I want to run it for 100 liters. So like this, we can add the data records manually. So if we want to add data records manually, we can add here. But here what we will do, we don't require to add anything manually. We can directly create from the recipe view. So we will simply delete it. Okay, so coming back to the recipes. Coming back to the recipe view. Okay, so here the content of the recipe view is recipe name. So if you go to the recipe, so here is only one recipe. If you select number of the recipe, then all the recipe will appear in the recipe under recipe name, and the data records of individual recipe, it will appear under the data record name, and in the entry table we will be able to see what are the elements of the that particular recipe level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 set point, level 5 set points, and the motor integer set point. Okay, so we will give the tags here. So here what we will do, so at the moment we have only one recipe, so we will not select recipe here, or we can directly select recipe here, display. So we will select only recipe 1 here. So all the content of recipe 1 we will be able to, all the content means all the data record name we will be able to see in this recipe view. So once it is selected, no need to select again and again. So we will simply deselect the display selection list. So only we will be able to see data records of recipe 1. So here data recipe data records. So here we have to give one integer tag. So here we will add recipe data record and recipe number. So recipe number is not required, but here I have added, so integer, and we will download it into the HMI, sorry, into the PLC. Okay, so downloaded. So here what we can do here, simply we can attach that recipe data record tag. Now, and in the recipe data record, so this recipe data record, it will be the integer number which will be appearing in this box for the number. See here data record name, and here is the number. So for every data record it will be having different number, and it will be saving in the data record, this db recipe data record. Okay, so now it is ready. What we can do, we can simply put it in the runtime. Okay, so here we can click on simply new. So whatever the configuration is there, we can create a new configuration with the help of new button. We can save the configuration with the help of save button, we can delete it, we can download it into the PLC, we can upload it in the PLC, and this one is for save as option. So what we will do, we will create vessel 1. So for vessel 1 we will select 100 and we will select bit 1 and we will save it. So again we will create a new. So if you see in the entry table, we can see motor level set point. The level, once we create a new, the values become 0. So here we can add vessel 2. We can give the set point for vessel 2. Let's say we want 50 liters. Motor 2 only I want to run. Okay. So here vessel 1, if you can see, motor 1 will be running, level set point will be 100, and in the vessel 2, second motor will be running and 50 liters it will collect. So now if you are using SCADA, then from the mouse it will be very easy to operate this data view. If not, and if you are not using SCADA and if you are using touch screen of the HMI, then it will be little bit difficult. If you are using touch screen, then how to make it user friendly? So what we will do, here we will add the recipe component in the, so here what we will do, we will slightly put it down. So here motor 1, so here, so invert beat, so here what we can do, no, invert bit in the tag we have to use because we are not using bool. So here motor bit 0, so for M2 bit 1, so for M3 bit 2, for M4 bit 3, and for M5 bit 4. And in the same way we can create some color animation, so that appearance single bit 0, for 0 it will be or it will be 1. For M4 and for M5. Okay, so M3, M4 and M5 we can select. Also we will add set point here so that level 1 set point, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. So now we don't require this entry table now because it is very difficult to operate with the display table. If you select it, it will be visible. If you deselect it, it will be. So for the recipe view, we have only this data record name, new, save, delete, save as, upload and download. So simply we will put it in the run mode. We will directly see our records, that vessel 1 and vessel 2, the set point will appear. Okay, so here at the moment, if you see, for vessel 1, M1 is selected with 100 liter of set point. For vessel 2, M2 is selected 50 liter of set point. So for the next one, we will select vessel 3 with 30 liter of set point. So now let us say for some phase we want motor 1, motor 2, motor 4 and motor 5 with 10, 20, 40 and 50 set points. So in the phase 1, so if you see, there is a 4 data record number. So if you see in the vessel 1, only vessel 1 is selected, vessel 2 only vessel 2 is selected, for vessel 3 only vessel 3 is selected. So you can change the set point. So if you required for this particular product 30 is not sufficient, we want to run with 35, simply we can change it and we can save it. So data record will be automatically changed. So but in the phase 1, we want to run phase motor 1, motor 2, motor 4 and motor 5. So in the phase 1, we can run that also. If we want only motor 1 and 5, we can do that as well. So in the phase 5, we want only motor 1, motor 5 with the 50 and 10 set point. We save it. So data record save. So in the phase 1, motor 1, motor 2, motor 4, motor 5 is selected with the set points. In the phase 5, motor 1 and motor 5 selected. In the vessel 1, only vessel 1 selected. Vessel 2, it is only with motor 2 and set point is selected. So in this way, we can create the desired configuration. Now, if we want to run this phase 1, okay, so here it is we have saved. So we have saved motor 1, motor 5, motor 4 and motor 5 with the desired set points for the level set points. Now if you see the PLC records, so in the PLC record motor is 0, level set point is 0, so all is 0, so it is not it in the PLC. If you download, if you click the download button, all these records it will be transferred to the PLC. So transfer complete. If you see the motor set point, it will come here. So at the moment we have selected 4 motors, so based on the that converted digit integer number, it will appear here. So level set point 10, 10, 20, 10, 20 appear here. Next one is 0, 0 appeared here, 4 and 50, 40 and 50. So if you select again phase 5, if you download it, see 17, 10, 50. If you select only vessel 1 and download, sorry, phase 1 we have selected, so vessel 1 and download, so only motor 1 and 100 is selected. So in this way we can execute this our required configuration with the help of recipe. Okay, so here now every time we have to download with the help of this particular button, or what we can do, we can create some logic in the PLC and we can execute based on this number. If you see every phase or every step has unique number. So for phase 1 we have 4, for phase 5 we have 5, for vessel 1 we have 1, for vessel 2 we have 2, for vessel 3 we have 3. So and these numbers will be appeared on this tag. See, so if we know the number, we can write a logic in the PLC so that number 1, number 2, number 3 we can execute serially. Or if we want to transfer it with the single button, we can again use the for vessel 1. So what is the number of vessel 1? Vessel 1 is 4. So here we can use the instruction set data records tag to the PLC. No, not this one. Set data record to the PLC. So recipe, our recipe is 1 because only one we are using. So data record number or name. So here data record number is 4. So here 4 we have to select. So output status message on. So let's keep it as it is, only this 4 number we have to change. Again we will check for, let's say, for phase 1. For phase 1 what we have selected, for phase 1 it is 4. So for vessel 1 what was, okay, so this one is for phase 1, and for vessel 1 it is 1. So here in the phase 1 we will select 1. We will take one more example for vessel 3. It is 3. So here 3, it is 3. Okay, so simply we can save and simply put it in the runtime, and we will see with the help of button. So we will be able to transfer the recipe data into the okay. So phase, so at the moment it is phase 1 only, no, vessel 1 and 100. So what we will do, we will click on phase 1. So all the data records of phase 1, see 27, 100, 20, 0, 40 and 50. And if you see the phase 1, 10, 20, 40, 50. Now what we will do, so here it should be vessel 1 and vessel 3. Okay, so what we will do, we will transfer vessel 1. So vessel 1, see 100 set point and only one motor. So we will transfer 3. So 4, 0, 0, 35. So in this way, we can use the buttons to transfer the recipe record into the PLC. Now, if you see the data records, see the data records are saved only in the internal memory of HMI. So here if you see in the recipes, you will not be able to see any recipe records. So here if you want to add some record, process end, and how it should look in the HMI process end and what should be the number. So here we will make the number 0, no, so we will make the number 100, and in the process end all the motors will be 0, all the set points will be 0. So what we can do, if we are writing the logic in the PLC, let's say my first number will be executing first, then I will want to execute my 5 number, then I want to execute my 2 number, and after that I want to execute my 3 number. And once all these executed, I want to stop the process. Then I can run this end process with the 100 number. So all the process will be stopped. So here we will check how this process end, it will appear in the data records of the recipe view. Okay, so if you select, see the process end appeared here with the number 100. Okay, so here for phase 1 it is 1, phase vessel 1, for phase 1 it is a 4, for vessel 1 it is a 1, for vessel 2 it is a 2, and for process end 100. So in this way we can create the PLC, we can configure the recipe view in the TI portal. Now again, what, so here only recipe 1 we have configured. If you want to configure some more different recipe under a different section for different product, we can configure that also. Here recipe 2, just I will show you how it will appear, and for the recipe 2 what will be the element. So I will add only 1 or 2 element only for understanding, and I will show you how it should. For recipe 1 there is a motor and level set 0.5. So here I will select motor and the same tag motor and level SP. So here it might be different one, temperature SP1. So this might be also different wall, but here's tagged. To save time I will use the existing one only. And here in the recipe view we can select display selection list. So here we can be able to see the recipe now. Now if we see, so under this recipe name we can see recipe 1 and recipe 2. So for the product 2 or for different section of the, for segregation we can use the different recipe as well. So okay, here we have to remove this one and simply I think we have to attach recipe tag as well. Recipe tag already we have created one, this recipe number. So if we attach it, see recipe 2 there is no any record. For recipe 1 we can select the our record. So for the recipe 2 operation 1, so we can select the respective tags of the this recipe 2 and we can select. So in this way we can use the different recipes to execute the process. Thank you. So in the upcoming video we will see how to use multiple recipe or multiple phases in the operation, multiple operation in the recipe as per S88 structure, which is mostly used in the pharmaceutical industry or biotechnological industry. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe this video. Thank you.